please find your seats.
Welcome Oslo Bislett Games with athletes, supporting staff, and the best Oslo and to our award-winning Deichman Library. Welcome to the city. I am also very deeply fond of games, and you should all know that Oslo, we are so proud to have Bislett Games here in our city. Throughout the years, the Bislett Games has given countless moments of joy and excitement to our city, bringing here the world's absolute best athletes. We have seen some truly remarkable achievements at the legendary Bislett Stadium. Performances so great you can hardly believe your own eyes. The famous Bislett crowd has cheered and celebrated and roared as only they can. And watching from far and near, millions and millions of TV viewers watching their heroes, cheering for them and hoping for the possible results. At the center, the city's very own Bislett Stadium, the legendary venue of sports. There for more than a century, various sport events have taken place here in Oslo, national, European and world championships alike. Even the Winter Olympics back in 1952 had the Bislett Stadium as one of its venues. So, Bislett is a stadium we are very proud of here in Oslo. Another more recent source of pride is this very building where you are now. The Deichman main library, this house, has become a cultural stronghold here in Oslo, centrally placed in the city center with everything you could desire of cafes, shops and restaurants nearby. And you also, of course, have the waterfront very close. The architecture of the building is impressive and award-winning. But more importantly, that is that the Deichman Library is the by far most popular cultural institution in Oslo. Today, everyone uses it, from children doing their homework, students studying for the exams, people working, reading, learning something new, attending events, or just having a good time with friends, symbolizing knowledge, education, and democracy. I can hardly think of a better venue than here at the Deichman Library. So we are honored to have you all here. We look forward, and I look very forward to tomorrow, to the Bislett Games. And I would like to extend the city's sincere gratitude to the Bislett Alliance for making the event happen once again. So thank you all for coming, and thank you also to our international guests for all the excitement and joy you bring to our city, to our beloved Oslo. So once again, welcome, best of luck with the games for tomorrow, and have a great also stay in Oslo. And you have chosen the right days, because this weather is not always like this here in June. So heartily welcome to Oslo, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marianne. On behalf of the Bislett Alliance, dear guests, welcome to the Strawberry Party 2023. We are delighted that we were able to have this historic event in this fantastic location at the Oslo National Library, Deichman. The location is just across the street from our official hotel, the Thon Hotel Opera, and the architecture and the view here is just fantastic. A special welcome to all our foreign guests, athletes, support staff, sponsors, and last but not least, to all the journalists from home and abroad. We have a fantastic weather forecast, a sold-out stadium, and we're ready for a historic Oslo Bislett Games tomorrow. Bislett Games is part of the Wanda Diamond League, which consists of a group of the most important athletics meetings in the world. We are the 5th meeting out so far. But the pinnacle for this season is, of course, the World Championships in Budapest. I'm therefore delighted to announce that we today here in Oslo have the Executive Director of Sport Budapest 2023, Mr. Martin Gulay, with us to answer some questions about the preparation for that event. Welcome up, Mr. Gulay. So, there's a big event in Hungary in a few months. Do you have control?
Of course we have control, yes. Thank you, Steinar. It's great to be here, and thank you for having us. It's 66 days exactly to go. We count every single day, and it's the biggest event that has ever been staged in the history of Hungary. We're excited, looking forward to welcome over 200 countries and hopefully 2,000 athletes. And it's actually quite a lot that we have done in terms of ticket sales as well, trying to get the whole country to move to exercise. We have over 42 events around the country where if you go and participate and you ran maybe a 5K or cycle or row or do anything, you get a 50% of your ticket prices, which might be one of the reasons why we sold already 190,000 tickets, and the penultimate night is pretty much sold out. So Armand Duplantis is going in the final, hopefully, against some of the other stars who will be there. It's very difficult to get any more tickets into that stadium that will hold 35,000 people, and it was constructed specially for this World Championships. So we are incredibly excited. It's great to see some familiar faces, both among the athletes and among the fans as well. And we look forward to welcoming as many of you as possible between the 19th and the 27th of August. One of the reasons why we are really happy to be here in Bislett is because we truly believe that the Bislett Games is one of the best meetings in the circuit in terms of looking out for athletes and athletes' performances and taking athletes first. And the atmosphere that you create in the Bislett Stadium is something we'd like to repeat between the 19th and the 27th of August. So if the athletes can get up to it and your fans will be there on the Norwegian night, which I'm free to say is the 23rd of August, then I can assure you it will be one night to remember. Because the 23rd of August is the night when we have the final for the men's 1500, followed soon after by the final for the men's 400 hurdles. So I can judge by the laughter that is hopefully the night that you're all getting ready, going online and getting your tickets for. So see you between the 19th and 27th of August.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure there will be thousands of Norwegian fans flying down to Budapest, and that Norwegian night will be historic. Thank you so much. Before we start the talk show, I would like to introduce my co-host, Mrs. Amalie Iuel. I'm so grateful that she actually said yes to this. As you all see, this is an off-season for her, pregnancy. But she will give you some information on what you have to expect when this is finished, namely the strawberry party. Amalie.
Exactly, Steinar. Because to all the media sitting here wanting to ask the athletes questions, you'll all have a chance to do the one-on-one interviews at the strawberry party later on. And you don't want to miss that one, because the strawberries are amazing. Og jeg kan faktisk egentlig fortsette litt med de jordbærene her. Det for de spesielt jordbærinteresserte, så kan jeg si at de levert av Coops leverandør Bonden Bær. Det drevet av Eirik og Helge Bonden, 2 generasjoner fra Nedre Vardal gård I Sande I Vestfold. Og det produsert I moderne systemer som også ekstremt bærekraftig. Så det var å glede seg til bærene. Jeg tok en liten smak her I sted, og de gode. All right, I think we should just get started. So all of you guys sitting here today obviously are at the top of your events. And what are some kind of personal characteristics that you guys have or are needed in order to be the best in your event?
Oh man. Is that an open question?
It's an open question, so who wants to take the stage?
Well, I'll start it off. One of the main things I would say is just preparation. Knowing that you got to come here and you know what you got to do, so I'll just say, yeah, preparation.
Femke, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I mean, is it working?
Yeah.
Oh, I agree on the preparation, and I think it's also the commitment. Showing up every day to training, having your recovery done, and just making sure you want to be the best of yourself every day.
I think my hunger to win is probably what gives me the most advantage. You know, I hate to lose races, and I'm willing to do the job that it takes to be on the top, I think.
Looking at the lineup that I'm sitting next to right now, I think through history of track and field, we're probably known as one of or the few reckless ones on the track. If you see us on the track, we're probably always giving out everything and putting our hearts and soul in the events that we do. So, that's a sign of loving the sport and enjoying what you do.
That's how you get world records, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you have done differently this year in order to keep on pushing the limits to get better? Every year the level keeps on getting higher. This year, Karsten, what have you done differently now to take it another step?
I think actually in the 4-meter hurdles you can see it very clearly now. It's very competitive at the moment, and everybody's trying to push the limits. People getting injured all the time. It seems to be tough out there, but top sports is a jungle. You need to be able to do all the right things and to have that consistency to be able to perform over time. For us, I think it's more or less the same. I think we have found the key to perform. I think we have found the key to run fast. And as long as I'm healthy, I'm always sure that I will run fast. So whatever we've done differently, I think we always try to put in a little bit more volume, try to run as much as we can without getting injured. And I have a great coach that has found the key many years ago. So I'm just lucky enough to be around to take advantage of that.
And Erriyon, this year, last year for you was fantastic, but you're still young, you're developing. What have you done differently, or just follow the program, or?
Well, what I have done differently is I have gotten more commitment to the weight room. Last year I wasn't really in the weight room as much, so this year I took it a step further, and now I'm there every day. I got my coach Mike Holloway making sure that I'm doing my best. So yeah.
And Femke, you must have done something different because your indoor season was just incredible, and the start of the outdoor season the same. Tell us, was it fantastic training? Was it something different you did, or?
Yeah, well, we're working on doing the 14 step this year, so it's one step between the hurdles less, and I think I really needed to work on my stride length, and this also really worked for indoors, so it was nice to see this improvement already. And so far I'm feeling really good doing it also on the track with the hurdles. So this big step, and I'm really liking it, and it's working out well.
And Wayde, you have an incredible, fantastic world record set a few years ago, and then it's been injury after injury after injury. But now you're back and you run really fast already. What have you done differently this year?
Yeah, I think I can reiterate what Karsten said. It's so important for us to look after ourselves and stay healthy. So trying to manage that has been very challenging for me because I am someone that always wants to go out aggressively and always wants to give my best whenever I have opportunity, and it wasn't that easy at first, so it was a big learning curve for me at the start because going through an injury, the first thing you think of is how I'm going to get back stronger than ever before and staying motivated and being positive, and then your first race back you can't go as quick as you'd like to or as hard as you like to, and it's just a constant back and forth with your health. So right now I'm working on my patience to make sure that I manage my body correctly and also managing my races correctly, and I think I've got myself into a good momentum now, so hopefully I can build onto that and get back to running those aggressive times again.
I have a question for Karsten and Femke, because Erriyon and Wayde, you guys have never ran a Bislett before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'd like to talk to you a little bit about my favorite thing about Bislett, and that's the intimacy of the stadium. I feel like the audience is getting super close to where I'm running. It's almost as if they can touch me as I'm racing, and I think that just adds to the whole fantastic atmosphere that's already there. Karsten and Femke, you guys are almost like Bislett veterans in a kind of a way, since you've ran here so many times now, and we love that. But can you share your experience with Wayde and Erriyon, who hasn't ran here before? Maybe favorite memory or something to look out for tomorrow?
Wow. I think Bislett is almost like a home to me, because we train there. Amalie here is my training partner. She trains there as well. This is where we prepare all winter long. So to be there and be able to run on home soil is something very, very special. And it's true, as you say. It's a very intimate stadium, and the atmosphere there is crazy. And I was unlucky last year. I wasn't able to run because of a hamstring injury. I will try not to copy that this year, and hopefully I'm able to run tomorrow. Everything's feeling good right now, and yeah, I really missed it. It's something extraordinary, and for me, this is one of the highlights every year.
Yeah, I think it's just a great stadium, and everyone is so close to you, and you can feel their love for track. So I just really love to race here, and with this weather, it's going to be super nice.
It is.
Karsten, Wayde, you're both reigning world record holders. 400 meter flat, 400 meter hurdles. It's almost a little applause for that, because that's the first time I think we have two world record holders beside each other. But the question I'm going to ask you now is your experiences of coming back from injury. You have a lot of knowledge about that. Karsten got it last year. Start with you, Wayde. What do you do mentally?
It's a tough one. It's really a tough one, to be honest with you. It's a constant battle of keeping true to who you are and what you want to achieve and your goals. To a large extent, there was days where I thought it was done. I would never get back to the track again. But there's something in your subconscious, in your heart, that would never allow me to give up, and I just try to always dig into that whenever I have the opportunity to, and whenever things are tough. And I'm a very spiritual person, so I'm always trying to improve my faith, and always trying to rely on my faith through those difficult days. And so for me, physically, it was never really a challenge, because he knows our events is one where you're constantly pushing your body to limits, and you're constantly hurting yourself and trying to break barriers. So when you ask me to do a physical challenge, I'm always ready. And then when it comes to the mental side, we always need to be tough. We always have to put up a strong persona. But going through an injury, you have to start digging into vulnerabilities, and you have to start digging into areas that I guess as a strong, tough athlete, you don't really want to go into there too much, and you don't want to linger onto that too much, because then you feel too soft or too vulnerable. So it was a tough battle, and it's still something that I'm constantly working on and trying to improve myself. So, but I know once the performances improve, the head will fix itself. So I'm just constantly trying to be in a race and present, and just appreciating the moment. Like I spoke to my agent as well, and I was like, let's do Oslo, let's do the Diamond Leagues and the meetings that I've never done before, so that I can experience the entire experience of being a track athlete and just enjoying it again. We got so caught into wanting to hit heights and break records and be the fastest that ever lived, which is fine, which is good, but at the same time, we think back to when we were kids, we would run back and forth all the time, not thinking about if we're going to get hurt or not, and just getting back to that mindset of appreciating what we have. There's people that live 9-to-5 jobs and get home, sleep, and have to get ready tomorrow morning again. We're doing running. something that comes very natural to each and every one of us. So just appreciating that, and that mentally just puts me at ease and at calm, and just to appreciate where I'm at right now. So thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for wanting to come in the places you haven't been before. Karsten, you had last year where you were a sit-out. I actually invited you to come to the stadium last year, but you weren't up for it. You had actually a few months where you were out of the sport.
Yeah.
Did you miss it just after a few months?
It's so crazy because, you know, I had many years where everything was just going my way. I was running with tailwind every day, and it felt awesome. So you start to almost take it for granted, and whenever you get something that stops you from competing, especially when you're super motivated, as I was, damn, it's tough. So for me to not be able to be at Bislett last year was super tough. And I also think, you know, what Wayde is touching, it's super important. I hope everybody was listening, because enjoying what you do and never forget, you know, why you're actually doing this, because me as well, you know, I can very much relate to getting lost into always having to push yourself against that world record or whatever it is, but at the bottom line, you actually love to run, you know, and that is also why people are there to watch, because they love to see individuals push themselves to the limit and enjoy what they do. So it's nice for me to be here. Shut up.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think that sums up everything I was trying to say. Yeah, you know, now we're here to do what we enjoy, and you know, to be in Norway with sun, this is, you know, you guys are lucky. This is perfect. So I think we can all look forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, and please stay injury-free, Karsten, because having you at practice while you're injured, it's kind of a Debbie Downer. So,
and you please get out the baby so you can come back running with me.
I will, soon enough. I have a question for Femke, because you were briefly talking about switching over to a 14-step rhythm. And I'm a 400 hurdler as well, usually. And I've tried the 14-step rhythm a couple of times at practice, and it's a stretch. It's hard. How do you train for it, and why do you think that's going to help you in the race?
I think at one point last year I was doing 15 strides still, but I was running a bit against myself. Every time I got in the beginning of the part to the hurdles, it was tough, and I had to dribble almost because I'm tall, I have long legs, and it was just not working out exactly. But I like to be with my same leg over it, because this is nicer with hurdling, because with 40 step you also have to do your bad leg. And then I think my coach just really helped me by first working on a stride length in the winter and slowly just building it up, like step by step, first doing 6 steps or 8 steps, like switching the legs and stuff like this. And then when he saw I was ready, he would put me and let me try this 14 stride. And then it also worked because we really worked on everything already. And I think I also really liked it as a challenge. I mean, I love the hurdles and you always want to get faster, and we really thought this would be the way. So it was, for me, a challenge, but in a nice way. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it looks like it really worked out. I mean, your first race has been really good, so I'm excited to see what you can do tomorrow. And I have a question for you, Erriyon, because you kind of dabbled a little bit with the 400 flat.
Yeah.
I looked up your stats and stuff, and I see that you've actually ran it a couple of times. But so obviously your main focus is in the 200 and the 100 meters. But do you see yourself maybe like approaching the 400, trying to experimenting with that a little bit in the future, or do you see yourself more as a 1 and 2 versus or rather than a 2 and a 4?
Maybe within the near future, I plan on running a 400 a couple of more times, because when I ran it in Gainesville, Florida at, I believe, Florida Tom Jones, I could have ran faster, but I mean, I was still kind of scared to fill that 400 meters, so I really wasn't pushing my body as much. It still hurt it, and I'm still kind of scared of it, but I think I plan on running it probably twice next year. I'm going to try to put it in within my schedule twice, so yeah.
I mean, I don't blame you. The 400, it sucks, and try putting hurdles in the way too. It makes it even worse.
Usain Bolt used to say that his goal was to be a legend in the sport. If those of you that have followed our marketing campaign this year can see the legend of Bislett, and here is a couple of the statues. Karsten, there's one of yourself there.
Yeah, looking good. That's my favorite. Yeah.
Is there any of you that had that kind of goal, to be a legend in the sport? That's a quite... Wait.
I already see us as legends in the sport. we've achieved, even watching his record, a lot of people compared it to my record, and they were like, two of you are insane. And sitting next to him today just gives me a shake of inspiration, but I have to hold it back and be patient because I'll get there when it's time. But I believe we've done what we need to do to hit heights to call ourselves legends. We've put ourselves in the history book, and I'm not saying that we settled with that and we're comfortable with that. Legends are people that wants to improve themselves and stay there for a long time. So that's my goal. I've got a few more years left in track and field, and I want to make sure that I utilize that next few years correctly. But don't get me wrong, we definitely are legends.
But Erriyon, you're new on the circuit, so do you call yourself a legend already, or do you have to perform a little bit and get some more gold medals first?
I don't really consider myself a legend, or not even close to one. As of right now in the state I'm in, I would just say I am good. Because coming on the scene so young at 17 onto the pro scene, I really feel like for myself right now I'm really doing good. So if I continue to do what I'm doing, I should say in a couple of years I will be a legend or maybe a world record holder.
So that's your goal as well, to be a legend, yeah? So then when you come back in a few years, we'll make a new marketing campaign and you will have your own statue.
Yeah. But speaking of statues, Karsten, you've always kind of played around with the thought of having a statue outside of Bislett. Now you have this miniature statue and a digital one, but most people, they only get statues once they're dead.
Yeah.
So what do you think you can do? How fast do you have to run in order to actually get it while you're still alive?
Fast. I was going to take a joke now, but I think I will steer away from that. But hopefully, I just have to die, and then we'll see.
Guess we'll see. Well, Bislett is sold out tomorrow. All the tickets are gone. The weather is looking great. It's going to be warm, no wind. I would say it's perfect conditions to run fast. What are your goals tomorrow?
Well, I guess I'll start. To run a fast 200, that's my goal tomorrow, just to run fast. I don't really want to throw a time out there. So, it's going to be fast. It feels like home outside. It's very hot. Every meet that I have been to, it has been like the weather has not been on my side. So, to finally come out here and get good weather at a nice meet where it's sold out, I really feel like it's going to be very fast tomorrow. So, yeah.
That's what we like to hear. Femke, what do you think about tomorrow? Are you going to keep trying out the 14-step rhythm?
Yeah, I will try the 14-step rhythm again and try to execute it even better than the last time. I'm still working on it a lot, so maybe a bit more aggressive the first 200 meter, and then hopefully the crowd will help me this last 50 through the lactic, but I'm sure it will.
I think so too. Wayde, what do you see yourself running tomorrow?
I think if I look at my last two races, it looked quite consistent. I was 44.17 and then 44.2. So I would love to obviously start improving on those times and start dropping off them. So, but that's my ballpoint go-to at the moment. And then as I start dropping my times, just to improve that and then take it race by race. So I think right now I'd love to go quicker than my last race, and then hopefully the next one I can go quicker until we get to World Champs and we surprise.
Maybe we'll see you dip under 44. Who knows?
Has it happened here before?
You asked him, Steinar, do you have any stats on that?
Not that many times, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, not that many times. Under 44 at Bislett. I think it's happened, but not that many times.
Michael Johnson ran under in 94, I think.
Okay, so you skip 43 and then just go straight to 42. No one's ran that, so
As we're approaching the end of this interview talk show with the first group, I just have to ask you about your experience with strawberries. Strawberries, that's business. Do they have good strawberries in South Africa?
We do. We do. We've got a few strawberry farms as well in where I was born in Cape Town. So it's not strange to me. So I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna use it as a date tonight. Take my wife and my kids and spoil them on a strawberry date.
And Karsten up in Ulsteinvik was probably too cold to have strawberries. I had the first time I got it when they came to visit.
There are actually some very good strawberry farms not too far from where I live, but the problem is the weather don't allow it. So usually I have to eat the ones from Netherlands, so I know they're not that good. but Norwegian strawberries are usually very good.
Okay. You want to agree, disagree?
I'm used to the Dutch ones. I think they're pretty nice, but I'll try them out today.
You send the bad ones to Norway.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Erriyon?
Well, currently right now I am hungry, so if you put a couple of strawberries in front of me, I might eat them. So, yeah, that's how I feel about strawberries right now.
So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we'll thank you, all of you, and then the strawberries and the cream and everything is just in the other side up there. So thank you, and maybe a big applause for first group. And then we go this side. There will be a 5 minutes break before the other group comes, so enjoy, go to the toilet, do whatever. especially for those which have already started their strawberry party in the backside there. Går det an å få den høyere? Ladies and gentlemen, we're starting the session 2 with some great athletes. Please find your seats, starting in 30 seconds from now. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now continue this Oslo Bislett Games talk show with some fantastic, interesting athletes. So can you please, those of you that's talking in the back, please stop talking loud. Listen in to what's going to happen now. Amalie, you kick off.
Thank you guys so much for coming today. A special thanks to Dina for stepping in on such a short notice. We're supposed to have Shericka Jackson here, but I think her flight was delayed. So thank you so much again for being able to step in. I have a kind of an open question to start with, and obviously you're all in the top of your events, and what kind of personal characteristics do you think you need to have or are needed in order to get to the top? Mondo, maybe we can start with you.
Okay. I think you need to be a winner. I think you have to have a winner's mentality. I think that's pretty important. Of course, other than the things that you're born with, like the genetics and whatnot, of course, it's a very physical sport that we do, but I think the mental side can be, depending on what you do, it can be just as important. So I think that you have to have a very strong mental side of your sport, and you have to be able to get after it every day.
Karsten was talking a little bit about hating to lose. I feel like you, Jakob, you might have that gene in you as well.
Yes, I think as Armand was saying, it's you need to motivate yourself, and that needs to come from within. But also, there's a lot of factors. Motivation is a big subject, and I think that the fear of losing is also can be similar to the eager to win. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to win. But some people do it and some people don't. That's how it is in sports and all places in life. But at the same time, something can be practiced, and that comes with experience and also the belief in yourself.
Dina, what do you think that you have that's so special from everyone else? Why are you excelling in your event?
I think mainly it's just the willingness to do what needs to be done, which sounds really kind of boring, but as Mondo kind of said, you have to get up every day and want to be the best and understand that whilst you are great and you are brilliant at loads and loads of things, there's always ways to improve, always ways to get better, particularly when you're in an event that's as competitive as mine right now. So it's just having that drive, having that focus and dedication, and being willing to just push yourself every single day.
And Yulimar, what about you? World record holder. What makes you special?
¿Qué dice? ¿Qué tal estás? Muy bien, muy feliz de estar aquí en Oslo por primera vez. Me siento muy motivada de entregar lo mejor de mí mañana. Pero más allá de eso, me siento ansiosa de poder brindar un buen espectáculo a todas las personas que van a estar presentes.
I think I might need a translation for that one.
I'm very happy of my first time in Oslo. I'm very motivated with give tomorrow a big show for all the people in the stadium, and I believe that it will be a great event.
To be able to push limits and develop, every year most athletes are doing something differently, training differently, different mental approach. For you, Mondo, this year, after that fantastic season last year, have you done the same, done something differently? What has been your goals? Please explain.
I don't think it's as much as changing up so much stuff. I mean, I think at this point I've been doing it for such a long time that I know what makes me good, and I know what areas in my jump that I need to improve upon. And I think that just making sure that the areas that I am really good at, that I continue to be good at it, and just trying to not overcomplicate it at the end of the day, because I'm on a good path right now, and I'm doing things right, of course, and just pretty much keep doing that, I guess.
That's not always easy.
Not really, but our event's different, I guess, than a lot of other events. It's very technical in a strange way, and so if you try to overcomplicate the event, then it can be really tough. And for me right now, I'm in a position where I feel like I have a really good feeling with the pole, and you see a lot of people out there, and it feels like sometimes when you don't really have it, you're fighting with it. And I feel like right now we're kind of in just a nice dance. And so, I think I'm just trying to keep that feeling right now, because I feel like the timing and everything's there. And so I'm kind of trying to keep things pretty much the same. But as far as, the physical aspect, of course, I'm always trying to get faster, stronger, and whatnot. But as far as the technical side, I'm not changing too much stuff, because I think that what I'm doing right now, there's more in the tank, and there's higher heights than just what I have right now.
And maybe not fix something that's not broken. Like what you're doing seems to be working, so.
Yeah, pretty much. And so for me, I just why? Why, I guess, at that point? Because I'm on a good trajectory right now, and I think that we are, I figured out what I need to do to be good and to progress, and so I think that I'm on the right path, and I'll just pretty much stay on it.
And Dina, something special you have done this year. The level in the women's 100 meter is really strong now. So what have you done to push the limits to get that little extra tenth of a second?
I think that it's, again, that balance between understanding what you do well and understanding what you're doing right, maintaining that, but also working on areas that you can improve. I spent a lot of time this year working on the mental side of things, I think. I think that was after last season, that was the biggest frontier for me. I saw such a huge jump in performance from what I was running in the season through to World Champs. I dropped over a tenth in 3 weeks. So pretty much there's peaking and all of that, but also just really working hard on my mental coming into that championship. So that's something that I always integrated, but I think particularly in the events where you have a few seconds to get it right, it's really important to cover that aspect. So a lot of work's gone into that.
Fantastic. Jakob, there's been actually a little debate in the social media a few weeks ago that maybe you have peaked because you started training so hard when you were 16, 17, 18, and then, and then you just go in Paris and you just take that out of the world. You haven't. So what's been your development goals this year to be able to do that?
I think training is relatively easy. You just need to practice the same things that you've been doing over and over again. And I've obviously been doing something previously that works for me. As an endurance type runner, it's all about running strength and working, running the most of amount of mileage that you possibly can, and at the same time do a little bit of the specific work. So year to year, I'm always trying to do that a little bit better, but at the same time, not forgetting why I'm a good runner and I'm able to run as fast as I am. So, but at the same time, it's always a debate for me and for the team around me that is there something that we can do different, and try to see at small details, but at the same time keep the same structure and working on the same things. But for me also, I'm not always 100% sure of what I'm going to race and how fast I'm going. So that's the fun thing about racing, that you see for a fact how fast you can go, and that race in that day. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
I have a question for Jakob, Mondo, and Dina, because you guys have all been here at Bislett before, but Yulimar, this is your first time. And what I love about Bislett is the crowd. It's the spectators standing in the stands and cheering and rooting for us. Bislett Stadium has a capacity of approximately 15,000 people, but I think with the energy that the spectators give and the loudness and the rowdiness, it sounds like it's at least 30,000. So that's my favorite part. What can you, Jakob, say to Yulimar that may give her some kind of insight on what she's about to face for tomorrow's meet?
I think she will find out tomorrow, but there's something for us going into the last lap. There's something special about, not special, it's just a lot of noise. So the Bislett roar, it's something there, and it's strange competing in all arenas and different meets around the world. There's just something about the volume at Bislett Games. It's a lot of fun, and obviously it gives more motivation and energy to the athletes competing.
I couldn't agree more. The Bislett Roar is real, and I really hope you all get to experience it tomorrow. Mondo, what do you remember specifically from Bislett Stadium?
I mean, I have all kind of memories. Here, everything in between pretty much. But, as far as the energy from the crowd, the spectators and everything like that, it's always on point no matter what. Even last year, even 3 years ago, whenever it was, when we've had some rain and some pretty cruddy weather, it's still there. It's still there. The energy's still there, and so I think that speaks a lot about this competition and what it's the foundation that it's been able to build. And so when you get Bislett and you get some good weather, which it looks like we're going to have tomorrow, it's pretty unbeatable. Definitely top 2 Scandinavia meet for sure. At least top 2.
That's good to hear. What about you, Dina? Do you have any special memories from Bislett?
Yeah, I remember. I was fortunate. I think I'd only competed here once before, so I'm really excited to be back here again. Last time I was here, I think it's one of the first Diamond Leagues that I ever won. So I've got great memories of the Bislett Games, and I remember that the atmosphere was really, really special, particularly when the stadium has so much history, and you can tell that when we're here in Oslo, the crowd are really knowledgeable as well. I think for athletes, we can definitely tell whenever you're introduced, and whether you are like the home favorite or you're like a world champion. For us, it's when people also cheer for the people who may not always be as well known, but you're only going to know them if you're an athletics fan. And I feel like we have that in Oslo, and I think that is incredibly special, because at the end of the day, athletes, we're out here, we're doing amazing things, we're also chasing our dreams, and it's nice, even when people are halfway across the world, to hear that people appreciate their efforts, appreciate their talents, and they're also here to see them run. So I feel like that's what I remember from Oslo, apart from like winning, so I was really happy. So yeah.
We do have an amazing crowd, so just listen out for the Bislett Roar tomorrow.
I have a question for you, Jakob, and this question comes from a lot of people that ask me the following. Why is Jakob choosing to run the 1500 instead of the famous Bislett Dream Mile? Answer.
Because 1500 is the main event.
For you, but for Bislett, it's the main event, it's the Dream Mile. But you won it last year, is that part of the reason?
Yes, one of the reasons. I won the Dream Mile, and that's obviously a dream. But a dream of mine is also to win my favorite event at my favorite meet on my favorite day of the year. So that's why it's my favorite event.
Then I have a follow-up question that's also come to me, is when can we expect that you take on the 5,000 at Bislett? If ever, then when?
That's a good question. I've never really thought about it, but that's probably a good thing. I'm gonna try to run and put myself in a position to win the 1500 as many times as I can first.
But you don't see it as impossible that we will see you sometime in the future in the 5,000. That's what you're saying.
No, if I'm able, I'm probably gonna compete in the Bislett Games forever. But we'll see.
Applause for that one.
Dina, I have a question for you. You were briefly talking about last time you ran here at Bislett and what a great experience it was for you. I usually have this thing, if I've ran well in a meet at a certain track, then I always want to come back to that track because I have great memories and associations from that track. Last time you ran here in 2018, you actually set a national record. I did some research before I came here, so you had a great race. So what I'm asking is, do you also kind of use those memories and those great performances as a way of do you get those associations, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Well, I mean, definitely. I think when you've got positive memories of a place, for whatever reason it is, and maybe, it might have been a win, might have been a national record, or just maybe you were coming back from something, and even though it wasn't, a really shiny performance, it was good for you. I think that will always bode well. Good vibes are good vibes, but I think ultimately the aim for everybody is, when you hit every single race, whatever the stadium, whatever the location, you want it to be an amazing experience at all of them, and you want to perform fantastically in all corners of the world. But I was really excited to find that my calendar worked with Oslo this year. It is one of the favourite meets of lots of the international athletes. The food's great, the stadium's amazing, and the fans, as I said, are really knowledgeable. So I was excited when I saw that you had 100 and it fit with my personal schedule. So I was like, great, back to Oslo.
Well, then, just out of curiosity, what's your favorite track to run at?
London.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm like, come on. What else?
No, that's a great track, so I'm blaming you for that. But as long as Oslo is top 2, it's fine.
I have a question for you, Mondo. You grew up in the United States with a mother from Sweden, father from the US. Now you become more and more Swedish, competing for Sweden. Beautiful Swedish girlfriend, I think she said somewhere. And my question is, the Norwegian-Swedish rivalry is like big brother, little brother, and especially in sports. For me, it's always like, if there's a football World Cup and Norway-Sweden is in, if Norway goes out, I always cheer for Sweden. In hockey, I cheer for Sweden. In tennis, there were no tennis players in Norway. Now we have, but I was cheering for the Swedish tennis players. So my question for you, if there are 3 teams, it's Sweden, the US, and Norway. And then Sweden goes out. Do you cheer for your little brother Norway or US?
Dang.
There's only one right answer.
Man. I think it would, I would like to skip this question. I think that would be the best for me. But I do love Norway. And I hope you guys watch me tomorrow.
Maybe I can ask the question like this instead. So if there's a European Cup in football and the Swedish team is not in the European Cup, will you then cheer for Norway or some other European?
No, I'll be cheering for Norway, 100%.
Perfect.
That's what we like to hear.
Yes.
I just wanted to check that one out.
Yeah.
So then now you're going to be invited next year as well.
You made it a little bit tougher, the first one. This one was a little bit more of a softball, but the first one was tough.
I have a question for you, Yulimar. So if you'll help me translate. You had an incredible season in 2022. You got a world record, you got the World Championship gold medal, and the list goes on. But we didn't see you compete indoors, and this is going to be your first meet here. You're opening the season here at Bislett. So I'm just kind of wondering, what have you been doing since Eugene, and how's your training and your preparations been since then?
Que has acabado de vivir la temporada y qué es lo que esperas ahora para la temporada y el campo.
Creo que todos estos años han sido muy bonitos para mí.
I believe that the last years were very beautiful for me and softball.
Yo soy un atleta de retos y cada vez que me pongo uno intento lograrlo de cualquier modo.
I am an athlete with a mentality of records every day. every season I put in my head a mentality that this season will be the best than the last.
Este año es importante porque es un año que trabajamos de cara al próximo que serán los Juegos Olímpicos de París.
This year is very important for me because we are working to Olympic Games. That is the big objective for the next years.
Y me encuentro muy bien. Espero poder hacer un gran año, una gran temporada de verano y poder superarme a mí misma y a todas las marcas en las que he establecido en los anteriores años.
Now, very good say, and I hope this year break the world record again, and make other objectives like the long jump in the World Championships, and working these two events for the Olympic Games.
Well, it sounds like you've done all the work necessary to have a good season ahead of you. So I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for tomorrow. And the weather forecast is looking amazing. It's pretty much the same as today. We're going to get sunny weather. It's going to be warm, almost no wind, and Bislett is completely sold out. So what are your goals for tomorrow? What can we expect to see from you guys? Dina, would you like to?
Like to win, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Jakob, do you have any goals for tomorrow?
The goal for tomorrow is to win, and hopefully get a good race. Try to. Will be fun to run fast, but the main goal is to win the race.
It's a stupid question, really, because I'm sitting here with 4 winners. So, yeah, Mondo, do you have any special goals for tomorrow? Do you have any?
Yeah, we have a great field tomorrow, so I know that it's going to be no joke. So I'm going to have to go in there and I'm going to have to fight and jump really well to be able to come out with the win. So, I'm going to I definitely will take them very seriously tomorrow. And we're going to have good conditions. So I think it's set to be to be a really nice evening. So for me, I feel like I have really high heights in me right now. So I think I just have to have the right conditions, the right place to do it, and I think that Bislett is one of those places. So I think that I can jump quite high.
And the pole vault field is looking amazing. We have so many guys jumping over 6 meters this year. We even got one of our own. So I'm sure that the field is going to be great. You guys are going to be pushing each other, and I'm definitely going to be watching out for the pole vaults. Yulimar, what do you have in store for us tomorrow? What do you see yourself doing?
Wow. Si está así como está ahora, perfecto. Pero para mañana quiero disfrutar, quiero hacerlo bien, quiero agradar al público, quiero ganar y hacer una gran competencia.
When I arrived today, Oslo is in a sunny day. Is great for me because I jump better with hot weather. But the important is the fans, the stadium, and the energy that they give me tomorrow.
That sounds perfect. I'm really excited for what's in store and what everyone is about to do out there. I'm going to be watching, and I'm really excited.
I have one final question for Mondo and Jakob, and we asked that question also to Karsten earlier. Both of you has been in our marketing campaign, Legend of Bislett. In front of you, you have a statue of yourself. And we asked Karsten how fast he thought he had to run to get a statue outside a stadium while he's alive. And Karsten decided that was not possible. So the question directly to you, how high do you have to jump to get a statue of yourself outside Stockholm Stadium while you're alive?
Well, didn't Karsten break the world record here?
Yeah, but he still don't have a
Yeah.
statue. He only have this one.
So if he doesn't have a statue, then I think it's going to be pretty tough for me to get a statue. Oh, not see. Oh, okay.
How high are you going to jump before you get a statue of yourself?
Just anywhere.
Just anywhere?
Not here.
No?
I thought you were going to make this real. Or a bigger one, at least. This is real. But, probably...
You're a legend.
Probably pretty high, yeah. I don't know. Whatever I've jumped now, higher than that. So, I don't know. But it would be cool. Hopefully, if I can... if I break the world record tomorrow, maybe we'll make this thing a little bigger.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Jakob?
I don't think we build statues anymore because we haven't got one yet.
True. True.
But wait, you can 3D print them.
Yes. Now probably if I do the world record, run faster than 3:26, I think I deserve a statue.
Yeah.
I can make you a promise now, and that's on, I'm going to pay for it. If you break the world record in the 1500 tomorrow, I'll personally set up a statue outside Bislett and pay for it.
Ooh, you said it now. We have all these witnesses.
There's a chance.
Okay, that was it for the official part. Now the second part is the historic strawberry part, and that will be on the far end. There will be strawberries, cream for everyone. The athletes will join in, and we'll continue until 7 o'clock. So you can just walk.